LV back today with a 14 card SGC sub-order reveal. Took about 14 to 15 business days. I do miss the 5 to 10 business days, but still pretty fast, and I think they will get back down there. So when I do SGC reveals, I hope everyone knows I'm a big fan of both PSA and SGC. And I'm not trying to come across as I'm bad-talking SGC in any way. I'm just honest with my observations that SGC is a little more lenient on certain flaws than PSA. And it's very important to understand that different grading companies have different standards. It's important to know how each grades because they do grade differently, especially on modern and ultra modern cards. This should make you have a game plan for which cards with which flaws should be submitted to each company. For example, I've learned from grading with SGC and reading comments in my reveals that SGC takes eye appeal more into account, that they are more likely to not knock you down for a little indent or fingernail mark on the back if overall everything else looks great about the card and it still presents well. So me saying this isn't me bashing them, it's simply me wanting to educate people to how each company grades differently so you can make a better, more profitable decision picking which company to send which card to. All right, let's get started with this order. I did feel that this order was more in line with how PSA would grade, so that is just something for me to make a mental note of for recognizing future patterns. All right, let's go and open up that box. All right. Okay. We got a big organ O on the back. I like the sight of that. Okay. We'll start with the organ O. See who it is. Okay, we got a Justin Herbert. Okay, we got a nice immaculate. You know, in the case that I went to Oregon, I do prefer Justin Herbert in his college uni. I know it takes a hit value-wise. It's much less when they're in the college uni compared to their pro Chargers uni for Herbert. But I love the Oregon. I mean, they're funded by Nike, so they always have pretty incredible jerseys and helmets and all that stuff. So 15 out of 25. This was actually a BGS 8.5. I corrected out because I thought SGC's a little more lenient on the thick card corner wear, which it had a little bit on that bottom left corner and a little bit on the top right, but everything else looked great. You can see the centerings there. No weird indents to the surface, which is very nice. And the back corners look pretty good. So I had a good feeling it would get a mint 9. It did. And the auto's nice and clear. Strong 10. There's the first card. All right, next card up. I just thought this was a cool art card to own. It's actually pretty condition sensitive. You'll see the back is kind of a darker gray, which chip really easily. This is Patrick Mahomes' dad. He was a decent pitcher in his own right. So cool looking card out of 96 Leaf Signature Series. This is too old for PSA to grade. I believe the cutoff's 1998 and older. Cool looking card. I'm happy with the grade. I thought it had a chance at a 9. It did. You can see the chipping, what I'm talking about on the bottom a little bit, but I think it's an accurate mint 9. Looks like next up we have a nice Khalil Mack rookie. Had 2014. Pretty nice bold autograph, all on sticker. This might be a label mistake because do you see the little pink ribbons, kind of like the breast cancer awareness ribbons on the back here? So I think that's that kind of parallel. I think it's a fairly accurate grade. I think PSA would give it a 9. You can see a touch of white on these darker corners. Kind of prism corner wear, I call them. It's very common, so just watch out for them. And try not to force cards that have them, because just a touch of white is going to bring you down a full grade with PSA. And a lot of prism cards have them. Something to look out for. Cool card. Next up, we got a Stephon Diggs. It got a mint 9. I actually felt like this was a little bit of an undergrade. I thought SGC would give it a 9.5 and PSA would give it a 9. So it's in line with PSA. Again, it just has some of the darker corners, I believe. Yeah, right there. See that? Prism corner right there. It's a good example of one. You see that? Just a little bit of uplifting and white showing. So, you know, pretty accurate grade. That's the way the card should be. So, numbered out is 75. Still a nice card. Nice bold autograph. All right, next up. So, this was, I thought SGC would let this slide, but they did not. So, the card itself is just beautiful, flawless, centered. The back was great. It's numbered out of 99, LeBron James, the red and gold wave. But it did have this thick print line. And from the past, SGC knocks these thick print lines. You see it right here. And the position of it wasn't too bad. You know, it's not like in the middle, right over his eyes or anything like that. It's just up top. You can kind of, you could even think it was part of the design or something, but it's up there and it's clear. So props to them for getting it right. But I think they usually grade these thick print lines a 9. They grade 1 full grade down. PSA, you will get a 2 full grade down to an 8. So they did an 8.5, so somewhere in between. So like I said, they are graded a little more in line with PSA on this order. Props to that. Next up, we got a Tom Brady out of 199. Got the prism corner, you see that? Touch of white. Other than that, maybe a little touch on one of these corners. But other than that, the card was flawless. We got the 10 though. So happy with that. Centered up. Still, it presents well. Like I was talking about, the eye appeal of this card, it's there. As long as you don't flip to the back and see the prism corner. Next up, we got a Stephon Diggs. It got a 10. And we're at a 150. It is the gold. It had a few little roller marks, factory roller marks down through his number, common to the chrome and finest of 2010 to 2015. No prism corners, finest corners. It looked good. The back looked sharp. Yeah, I'm good with this. I was just worried PSA would grade those kind of roller marks on this, but a nice gold refractor. They are sought after, the golds. All right, next up, we have, oh man, talk about eye appeal. This card presents so well. It's amazing. It presents as a Gem 10. This kept being a PSA 7. I graded it twice over the last year, and they kept coming back as 7. I disagreed fully with that, and I know the set really well. The back's so clean. It's so sharp. So here is the mark that PSA, and it's just a factory mark. And you get these all the time with these surfaces in the mid 80s. That's what they brought down to 3 full grades. Because other than that, gosh, that card's a gem. So SGC brought down a 1.5 to an 8.5. But I mean, look at it. This is just a gorgeous card. This one I'll probably hang on to. I just like the way it looks. And I know the condition sensitivity to this card really well. It always kind of has print defects and off-centered, stuff like that. So, 8.5. Next one is a really cool card, the Skybox Metal. I just found this in one of my old collection boxes that was in the garage. It was sticking out. I was like, whoa, that's actually, card has some value. It's got the metal chipping a little bit, touch of white on that. But other than that, it was pretty clean. Honestly, I thought they would give it a 9. Look at the back. The backs were going to get a lot of chipping too, but look, it's not bad. I would say the only flaw is that little touch of white on that corner right there. So there's Spider-Man on the back. I like how they put Spider-Man on the back with Jerry Rice with sticky hands. Next one up is actually that That thicker Ken Griffey, really cool card. I actually think I thought this would get a mint 9. I really did. Touch of white on one of these dark gold corners, but it wasn't bad. I think it was up over there. But look, for a thick card, slightly off center, thinner on the left and the right. It's dropping the hammer. It's kind of a gold relic. Numbered out of 100. Game used bat from 2003 Upper Deck Vintage. Sorry, I'll hold it like that. So yeah, I thought the card presented pretty well too. I thought it would be a mint 9. The back corners look great for a thick card. So yeah, in line with how PSA would grade it, an 8.5. Next up, it's a card I've been grading for a while. It's the Checklist Refractor. I originally bought this as a BGS 9, and you've seen it in my past reveals. I can't get it back up to a 9 with any company. You can see, so the centering's just perfect. It's 50-50, and the corners are sharp, but you can see these little surface scratches right here. Just in the middle. A few right there. So yeah, it's definitely an 8 or lower. I'd say it's a PSA 7. I think the last time I graded this with SGC was a 7, so they give it a 7 even. So a little bump. I'm gonna be finally done with this. I think I said that last time. I don't know why I keep grading it. So just losing effort here. But I'm okay with it in 8. I think it's a generous but accurate grade. There you go. The next up, really cool, out of 25, Dominique Wilkins Gold Refractor. I think in the future, these gold refractors will have nice value for these chrome, the 2000 chromes. Look at how beautiful that card is. Nice eye appeal for sure. It pops. It's an eye catcher, I think. 2006, 2007, tops chrome. Dominique Wilkins. PSA graded an 8. I figured SGC would be around a 9. It had some surface little marks on it. You can kind of see little pockets. I'm not sure exactly, but it could have been an 8. See, that one's pretty deep. So yeah, I'm okay with an 8.5 for sure. All right, next up, cool looking atomic refractor out of Best, Charles Barkley. Got the 9. I'm very happy with that. I think it's an accurate grade too. It was clean other than it had that refractor line through it. And it was pretty solid too. See that right there? So accurate grade, I think PSA would have been around an 8. If generous, it would have been a 9. But I think they were around an 8. So beautiful card. Gotta love that. Look at that. Those were hard pulls. Finally, we will end with that Duncan. It was a PSA 6. I cracked it. I just couldn't look at it in a 6. I thought I had a shot at higher with SGC, but so much can go wrong with all these little die cut, stuff. So flip it over, and we got the 6. So accurate, I would say so. The card looks better than a 6. I mean, you got some ripples on the die cut bends. But other than that, the bottom 2 corners are decent. See that? I mean, this is probably how it came out of the pack. And then you got that normal kind of die cut wear. One ripple here. This is the bad one, I think, that gets you, because it looks like it folded down a little bit. You can kind of see that right there. So still a rare and sought after card, but in a 6, man, I just hate looking at it. But it is what it is. I think it is an accurate grade. But all right, there you go. That was the SGC reveal. I didn't get big generous grade boosts or bumps, which is totally fine. I get it. I think that's how it should be. They should be a little more in line with PSA on this kind of ultra or regular modern stuff. Still fun cards. I think that Herbert was my favorite card in the order. Very happy with that. We'll see how he plays with the new coach. I should have some fun reveals. I am prepping a bunch of cards for grading. Take advantage of the $15.99 special. So I've been busy, but I hope everyone's been doing well and happy collecting. And I will see you on the next reveal.